In the given equation, express E in terms of M and P, right? So our given equation here is the fraction 7 divided by M equals the fraction 1 divided by P minus the fraction 1 divided by E, right? So let's quickly delve into our solution. Okay, so our solution. So our given equation is the fraction 7 divided by M equals the fraction 1 divided by P minus the fraction 1 divided by E, right? So here we are dealing with, on the right hand side of the equation, which is the fraction 1 over P minus the fraction 1 over E, we are dealing with subtraction of fractions, right? So in subtracting fractions, one method we can use is we multiply the denominator here on the right hand side here, which is E, by the numerator on the left hand side here, which is 1, and also the denominator on the left hand side here, which is P, by the numerator on the right hand side, right? So we are working, we are solving or working the right hand side of the equation first, right? So we leave out 7m, right? So we are going to have the fraction 7 divided by m equals 1 multiplying E minus 1 multiplying P, which is a fraction, right? The fraction 1 multiplying E minus the fraction 1 multiplying P, divided by the multiplication of the denominators, which is P and E. So divided by P, right? So we are going to have our fraction 1 multiplying M, our fraction, right? The 7 divided by M, right, equals the fraction 1 multiplying E minus 1 multiplying P, divided by P multiplying E, right? So in simplifying further, we are going to have our new equation to be the fraction 7 divided by M equals the fraction E minus P divided by P, right? 1 multiplying E will give us E minus 1 multiplying P will give us minus P, right? Divided by P multiplying E, right? So we are going to have our new equation to be the fraction 7 divided by M equals the fraction E minus P divided by PE, right? So we have our new equation as such, right? So here what we have to do is cross multiply, right? So because these are fractions on different halves of the equations, right? Of the equation, right? We cross multiply without multiplying the denominators, right? Which was in the case of of subtracting fractions, right? So we cross multiply. So 7 would cross multiply P, and M will cross multiply, or in bracket E minus P, right? So we have our new equation to be 7 multiplying PE equals M multiplying, or in bracket E minus P, right? So when we are done, we expand. In expanding, 7 multiplying P will give us 7P, right? M multiplying E will give us ME, right? M multiplying minus P will give us minus MP, right? So we are going to have our new equation to be 7P equals ME minus MP, right? So based on the preamble of our question, we were tasked to express E in terms of M and P, right? So we were tasked to make E the subject of the relations. That's the meaning, right? So we've gotten our equation to be 7, we've gotten our equation to be 7PE equals ME minus MP, right? So what we have to do is to group like terms because we want E to be the subject of the relation. So we group the E's at one point, and those with E's at one point and those without E at the other half of the equation. So here we have 7P is equal to ME minus MP. So 7P and ME are the like terms, right? And minus MP here is the unlike terms, right? So we move minus MP to the other half of the equation, the left-hand side of the equation, right? Which, when we move it, it has to cross the equal to sign. And when it crosses the equal to sign, it will change its form to become a positive MP, right? Because whenever a number crosses an equal to sign, it changes its form, right? So supposing MP was a positive number and it crossed the equal to sign, it would have metamorphosed into a negative number. But here, MP is a negative MP minus MP, right? So minus MP, when it crosses the equal to sign, would metamorphose into a positive MP. So we are going to have our new equation to be MP, right, is equal to ME minus 7PE, right? So here, our new equation is MP minus is equal to ME minus 7P, right? And we were tasked to make E the subject of the relations, right? But E is the common factor here, so we factor E out. So we bring E out, or in bracket, what factor can multiply E for us to get ME is M, right? What factor can multiply negative 7P for us to get for us to get what factor can multiply E for us to get negative 7P is negative 7P, right? So our new equation is going to be MP equals E multiplying all in bracket M minus 7P, right? So we factored out MP is equal to E multiplying M minus 7P all in brackets, right? But E is dependent on the factor or in brackets M minus 7P, right? E is not independent, and E must be independent before it can become the subject of the relations, right? So what we have to do is to cancel out E multiplying M minus 7P by or in brackets 7 or in brackets M minus 7P, right? Which is the factor, right? The common factor we cancel out, and whatever we do for the right hand side of the equation, we do same for the left hand side of the equation. So we are going to have our new equation to be M, the fraction MP divided by M minus 7P equals the fraction E multiplying M, E multiplying all in brackets M minus 7P divided by all in brackets M minus 7P, right? So all in brackets M minus 7P will cancel all in brackets M minus 7P for E to become independent and be the subject of the relation. So our new equation is the fraction MP divided by M minus 7P is equal to the fraction E multiply all in brackets M minus 7P divided by all in brackets M minus 7P. So M minus 7P will cancel itself out to cancel M minus 7P out, right? So we have E to be the subject of the relation. So we are going to have E equals the fraction MP divided by M minus 7P as our final answer, right? So therefore our final answer is E equals the fraction MP divided by M minus 7P, right? Thank you so much for watching today's series. Kindly do what to subscribe for more. Thank you. Bye.